Hello internet, it's been a minute since I've been on YouTube making any sort of longer form content. However, due to one of my more recent reels on here gaining some traction, it's actually an older reel, but gaining some traction nonetheless, I did want to make some longer form content regarding about how I feel about the subject. The reel in question is a reel regarding paranormal investigators on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, all of whatnot, and kind of the effects that they've had over time. Now, I personally, have really wanted to do my own sort of paranormal investigation type of content. I love that stuff too, but I haven't felt like I was morally really able to because of the effects of Goatman's Bridge. I personally live about not even a half hour away from Goatman's Bridge. I've been multiple times myself. I went before and I went after, and before BuzzFeed's Unsolved video versus after has been like night and day, at least in my personal experience. I know that there's a lot of people who commented on that video with different experiences, and I'm not going to invalidate that for you, but that was my experience. Yeah, obviously there were shitheads before. It's a college town. But man, did it amplify after Shane screamed, "Fuck you, Goatman," off of his bridge. It definitely amplified and worsened from how it was before, which to me, is really sad. As somebody who both believes in the paranormal 110%, and as someone who believes that we should respect ghosts and whatnot and respect the dead. And it's also disappointing to me as someone who cares about historical locations. Old Alton Bridge it's part of the National Register of Historic Locations, and it has been completely trashed since the video. Completely trashed since "Fuck You, Goatman" went viral. This is especially because I don't have the funds to travel the entire US, so they would all be Texas-based ghost stories that I would be touching on and visiting and whatnot. None of them would be outside of the state, and if they were, it would be Oklahoma, because I'm by North Texas, so it would be like Oklahoma. And I had actually been revisiting the topic more recently regarding this, about how to go about it, because maybe it was just that they were a bad example or something along those lines, and maybe going in trying to be nice to these spirits and entities and all that, trying to befriend them and whatnot, would lead the public to a better understanding, or at least better behavior when they're visiting these locations. However, YouTube has done a phenomenal job of letting me know that that is not the case through the comments. These are the ones that I'm going to not blur out, because half of these are abhorrent, objectively speaking, and things that you just shouldn't say to a living person, or dead person, or literally anybody ever. But you did. One of y'all legitimately thought that it was okay and acceptable to suggest that I myself, because I dared to diss your fave boys, Shane and Ryan. Which I don't hate BuzzFeed Unsolved. I never hated them. I just believe that when you have a platform, or you're an influencer of any sort or anything like that, you do have a responsibility to influence people in a responsible direction. And if you influence them in a bad direction, that is still on you. Your actions still led to that. And it's even sadder when you realize that most of the people out here doing this crap, being assholes, screaming, "Hey, fuck you, Goatman." What's even sadder about that, is the legend of Goatman stems from a man who was hung by the bridge. It's a black man who was hung by the bridge. That is where the legend comes from. So to go disrespect him like that, and a lot of ghost stories, they come from these deeply sad deaths, truly upsetting events. I don't think that I personally would be okay with knowing that something that I posted would contribute to that, because I do want to share these locations with people, I do want to share these stories and whatnot, but y'all don't know how to act. So nevertheless, I'm still working on how I would go about sharing any of this type of stuff with y'all. And I don't even know if I ethically can. I've seen haunted content creators who I actually think are very respectful and very good. And even then, just based on how y'all have behaved in my comments and whatnot, I'm not even sure that the majority of y'all are capable of learning basic respect. And if y'all can't even respect me or at least be decent to me or just scroll when you don't like a video, y'all gotta be in my comments and be nasty, then how am I ever supposed to expect literally anyone on here to not act like a shithead at a place with a tragic history? I mean, we're probably gonna have to start at very basics of cemetery etiquette and how to act, you know, how to not get haunted type shit, you know. We would have to start like way at the basics before I could even share these stories, and it's sad to me. It's just really sad. This more is like a longer form, right? Because I still want to do this. I just don't know how to ethically do it. Because I can't ethically do it knowing that these fuck faces over here are going to take a nice place, that's a learning opportunity, that's a chance to experience something new, and fucking ruin it. Because again, I don't want to gatekeep, you know, I don't want to gatekeep these cool niche haunted spots because some of them are pretty niche that I know about, right? They're not all Goatman's Bridge or anything. And since it would be local to me, it would be interesting to get to share some of the local history as well, but I don't even know how to go about doing that without half the people in the comments, or people like the people in the comments, just outright ruining a place that I like, you know? So if y'all have any recommendations, let me know. I'm probably gonna be posting some content about just basic etiquette with the dead soon, because y'all clearly didn't learn that. Shoot, I might have to start posting just etiquette in general, because y'all definitely don't know that. And that is really sad. Really fucking sad.